This is George F551 bringing you the third video in the series of the Carter Building renovation project. I decided when I was recording the last bit of the Ivory Keys apartments to come out this way and see what's going on. I saw fixturing and a porta potty on the property. So that was a sign that things are going to start, and I think you can see that we definitely have the signs that things are going to start. They got it all fenced off and they're ready to go. In fact, if we go up here so we can... That was the porta potty that I saw, and supposedly there's a construction trailer on site as well. They just got to wrap up some loose ends before they start on this building. And speaking of, if this is too short of a segment, I'm just going to save this segment and then attach the next one. So I'm hoping that these people take pictures of the innards. Now, I've also noticed that they've placed some scraps of what appears to be 2x4s on the plywood. I guess it's so when they pull the boards off, they won't come apart, because you can see where they've been placed. The plywood delaminated some. So, yeah, this is the end of its, as I drop, pretty much the end of the road of deterioration. Yeah, even the top of that arch there that's in the bottom set of windows is starting to fall apart. Back up onto the solid ground. Yeah, the light fixture's just dangling. That used to be up on the ceiling. The roof right above it collapsed a couple years ago. Surprisingly, there's no big gaping hole. So, unless there's something else, I'm gonna stop the camera. And if there's absolutely nothing else, we'll come back another time and see what progress has been made. New View, the people doing this, they've done a smart thing. They've taken these fences and they have some sections, I'm sure you saw it on the other side, that stick out to keep the fence vertical. The other person that tried to renovate the place before he got shot down just had a single line going across, and even while the project was still a go, was falling down. And that's when all the windows were still open. But these people, they have some support structures, so they're not going to fall. And speaking of the construction trailer, there she is. Although the one thing I'm surprised about, and it may not have been done yet, is leveling it off, because relative to the building, there we go. I'm holding it straight now. I used the building as a reference. It's a bit cockeyed. Polar Design Build's doing this project, and we are definitely not crossing the fence. That is just plain wrong thing to do. Now what I'd like to see is, like many other construction projects, I want to see if they actually put up a picture on the fence, you know, one of those architectural renderings of what it's going to look like. Now, the people that are doing this are the people that did the Whitney Street apartments. And if they kept the accuracy extremely close, they're going to nail it on this building as well. It's going to be very close to what it was. The only thing I'm not sure about are the windows on the front, the very front middle ones. They actually were pivoted and tilted. They weren't casements. They tilted on a center axis. So that makes me wonder what they're going to do for those kind of windows. Anyway, raise it up. Hit the let's look inside button. It's hard to see, but that has completely eroded away. You can see the light fixture is gone. There's absolutely nothing there. Even the pillar is practically gone. And there's the porta potty again, which I'm surprised is only one, and it's in the back. So I think what I'm going to do, since there really isn't much of anything, is this is going to be a multi-part segment of the video, because, yep, we see that it's all here. We know it's getting ready to be renoed, but that involves pretty much gutting the thing clean. And that collapsed floor right there, that'll be a thing of the past. In fact, I know we're not going to see much. Okay. Those were nuts. But it's all fenced off now. Yeah, I ain't seeing too much now. Except that's daylight going through the roof. Because that's the third floor and we're looking through the second floor. Anyway, that's what we got here for the first part of this particular segment of the video. Hopefully next segment we'll hopefully time it out so that we can see the building with the boards taken off and see what things look like. Oops, fumble camera a little bit. Yeah, let's see what things look like next segment. Well, I guess work might be starting because all the windows that have been boarded up and have fallen off are boarded up again. Plus we got that trailer. There's a bobcat there, but that was there before. There's other things that point that out. They're starting to get a bit serious now. They're getting ready to go. Nonetheless, even though it's all fenced off, yeah, it's best to go up close because it's not going to focus in. People are going through the fence and doing graffiti. Really nice. Not really. Yeah, they fully boarded it up. So even the bird sanctuary opening is all boarded shut. There we go. And I got this fake window put in for the door and more graffiti over there. I don't know if we can zoom in on that. Yep, that's why they kept it all boarded shut. They're doing asbestos abatement at this point. So if the building for the most part is all sealed up, why take the boards off and put plastic over them? Doesn't make sense. So they kept the windows boarded up that were already boarded up ones that weren't, although we got the hole in there, and those openings are actually for the vacuums to suck out the air as they clean. So let's go around the building and see what more we can see. These guys might want to add surveillance cameras. And the taggers are getting this place wherever they can. Well, they tapped into the electrical feed. Where is it? There it is. It goes down. They tapped in. That's where all the wires are coming from. They got their main connection set up there. Again, the asbestos thing. This is for a photo. There we go. I think. Let's try again. There we go. It's bright out. I can't see if it's doing it or not. And we got more construction storage over here. Like I said, we're going around the whole thing. So that work is definitely underway now. and definitely as we go around. And one thing I was going to bring up, but now that they're working here, they've done it, is they've straightened out this trailer. It was with the angle of the fence. There, I'm holding this straight. The fence is crooked. Security cameras in use. Well, apparently they're not doing too good right now, or they're not in the right spots. Anyway, for those of you that don't live anywhere near this area or know this place, the lean was a concern because of the wind. Because it was tilting that way, and this is the way most windstorms blow. So this thing could have easily been blown over. 60-mile-an-hour wind, it would go over. It was tilting enough. But they straightened that out. And the funny thing about that truck trailer is that the truck trailer in the beginning, it's facing the wrong way, unless it's that way on purpose, or because it was just easier to do it that way. But there we go. There is stuff on the other side, so we're going to go head to the back. Now we're on the other side. The small street that borders this building, again, boarded shut with the asbestos. The newly broken window is boarded shut. The one where you could see inside the third floor through the second floor window, that's all boarded shut. Go down these very well hidden stairs from years of neglect. That'll change. That's a crane, I guess most recently used to board up the windows that were on this side. And here we are once again on this side. And I find this a bit interesting. Okay, here's the crane. Not this part, that they've reboarded those windows. Funny thing is I don't know if they've plugged up all the holes in the roof, because those are openings too, as the camera drifts. And here again, funny thing is they've ripped off some boards from the gymnasium right there and made a sort of a gasket to cover it. And I guess they actually might have completely opened up the windows so that the pair that was where that plywood is has been made into one opening, because we got bricks there, so apparently there's going to be a patch job. And that's all covered up again because of asbestos abatement. So for a while now, you're not going to really see or hear much of anything, because it's all boarded tight, so there wouldn't be any need to remove the plywood just to seal everything up again. So just board up what was falling off and go to town. The only negative there is, and I know they have solutions to that, is lighting. But like I said, they're a construction crew. I'm sure they have a solution for that. If they don't, then they wouldn't be on this job. These are the same people that did the apartment building on Whitney Street. Whitney and Mill. And if what they did there is going to be done here, this is going to look excellent when it's done. And just like the other place, the only way you would be able to see any variations in what is actually happening, what actual detail versus their recreations, would be getting up close and personal. So, yeah, work has begun, and like I said, for a while we're not going to be able to see or hear anything because of the asbestos. A nice little 1920s add-on. So that'll be it for this particular episode, because once they get the place abated, as well as the lead paint, the third floor is kind of a mystery how they're going about that, because from what I understand, there's many places that the floor is too soft and you can't even walk on, and there's no way to get there because the stairwells have collapsed. But they're professionals, they know how to get through that stuff. So that'll be it for this particular episode. Again, once they get the abatement and all that done, then we will be able to do a little more of a progress report. George F551 saying, hope you enjoyed and have a good one.